In the name of God the Most High, welcome back to the Rummi Talks Podcast with your host Rummana Shaheen. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. I pray that you are all well and in the best of health and iman. Alhamdulillah, we are back again with another episode. And before we begin today's episode, I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you to every single person who has showed their support over the last few episodes. And we pray that inshallah you continue to support us throughout the next episodes that are upcoming, inshallah. So without any further ado, Bismillah. So in the studio today, we have a very special guest, which mashallah, we've actually invited a few times. I've invited you a few times, but we've just never been able to actually get a date. It was just more of in the pipelines.
Yeah, we've been trying.
Yeah, we've been trying, yeah. So alhamdulillah, in the studio, I have with me brother Javaid Iqbal, who is the founder of Clear Sky Legal, a family legal advisor?
Legal services. So we basically specialize in all aspects of family law. That's divorce, Islamic divorce, Children's Act matters, and financial remedy cases. Basically, the splitting of the assets when people get divorced. Who's going to keep the house and who's going to keep the dog,
okay,
etc.
So alhamdulillah. So he's told us, mashallah, a more detailed understanding of what the system is. So assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you doing?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, good. And
how does it feel finally being here in the studio?
I was going to say it's taken a while, but inshallah this episode will be worth it.
Inshallah. So inshallah, I just want you to kind of introduce yourself, I know you just mentioned the background of your work, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what kind of inspired you to start this as a legal service for the community.
So I mean, some viewers might already know me, but I'm sort of born and bred in Bradford, moved down south to study, came back to Bradford. Bradford, for me personally, best city in the world.
Alhamdulillah. I agree, 100%.
I've lived everywhere. Believe in me, I've lived in Barcelona and I've traveled the world and I've lived in London and everywhere. But for me, Bradford's where it's at.
Alhamdulillah, I agree, 100%.
What I always say is how you want to live your life.
Yeah, 100%.
I choose to live my life in a certain way, and I think Bradford facilitates that. In terms of being close to mosques, being close to your family, being close to halal food, being here, there, everything's easily accessible the way you want to live your life. So I moved back, worked for a couple of law firms, and then I set up my own 6 years ago.
Mashallah.
So we founded 6 years ago, Clear Sky Legal Services, just specializing in aspects of family law, all aspects of family law. And alhamdulillah, it's been a brilliant journey, seen a lot, met a lot of people, and it's going great, to be honest.
So what was it that inspired you to continue pursuing this?
I think I enjoyed the law aspect of it, and I enjoyed the fact that for me, no 2 days were ever the same, and all clients are different. And I love, one thing I've always said is I love to see the client's journey. So they go from coming to us in a state of almost, they're completely broken, they're wit's end, they're like, I don't know what to do with my life, my husband or my wife is doing this, that, and the other. And then you carry them through that journey to the end, and you see them grow, and you actually see them coming out somewhat better, to kind of like, okay, I've accepted the fact that this is like this, and now I can move on, get rid of all the baggage and move on with my life now. And that is really inspiring sometimes. I've seen some clients go from 0 to 100, in the space of that journey.
MashaAllah. Okay. So how do you feel like you being Muslim and South Asian yourself, attributed to the work that you do, or influenced
definitely.
you into working? I mean, I know you mentioned you've been down south, you've been abroad. So when you came back to Bradford, was it for that reason, or?
No, I mean, the main reason I came back to Bradford was because of family.
Okay.
So obviously my mum, dad, everybody were here then. So I looked after my dad for a while until they passed away. And then I just started to sort of work, and it kind of went from there. But in terms of the being South Asian and being Muslim, you understand nuances. So certain nuances, and this is not me being racist or anything like that, a white person is not going to get it. And that's not because of any of the reason that they just don't understand the culture. So I think less so a racial thing, more so a cultural thing. So let me give you an example. I have a sister come to me.
Yeah.
And she'll say, my husband's XYZ, I'm thinking of getting divorced, etc., etc. I'll be like, okay, fine. He also happens to be my first cousin.
Okay.
Right, so there's a nuance there straight away.
Yeah.
There's an angle. Then she'll say, well, actually, my sister is married to my husband's brother.
Right, okay.
Right, so there's another angle, another nuance, which culturally you understand, but somebody from another culture might not get it. They just don't understand the dynamics sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think all these kind of things matter.
Yeah.
You know, you have to understand that there's sometimes there's not one relation going on. There's 3, 4, 5 relations. So my mother-in-law is also my maternal aunt.
Yeah.
Or my father-in-law is also my maternal uncle.
Yeah.
And my first cousin is also married to somebody else who's married to somebody else. So it's a bit of a chain reaction going on.
Right.
And I think if you're not au fait with the culture, if you don't understand the culture,
Yeah.
you're not going to understand the nuances. And I think that's very, very important.
Right, yeah. I agree with that because there are a lot of, I mean, even like from the legal side, they'll come to you. But when they come to like for Islamic advice, a lot of the time that is what it is. We can't make a step. We can't take a step. We can't make a decision simply because this is my mamu's son. This is my chacha's son. This is my taya's son. And the women feel like very under pressure.
Absolutely. To make it work.
Well,
not even to make it work, just to stay there, stay put. Shut up and put up, basically.
Yeah.
And don't
But that's
move.
that's a lot of the time. That is what, as a woman myself of the South Asian community, that is what we are taught.
I know, but that's really disheartening, to be honest. And it's a little bit sad because you'd think anyway, that obviously having been in this country now for 60, 70 years plus as an immigration population, you know, let's say we sort of started migrating in the 50s and early 60s, you would have thought we'd broadened our horizons somewhat. We'd moved on a little bit where we don't teach our daughters that, hang on a minute, hell or high water, because he's your mamu's son or because he's your chacha's son, you have to stay with him.
Yeah.
Times move on.
But it's not even,
move on.
and even like we've mentioned, like the relations, even then, like I know because I've had elders in my family said, and I'm not in family, I'm out of family. And they've said to me as well, the moment you go there, you stay there.
That's sad.
No matter what happens.
I know, but this is a cultural phenomenon, which is a South Asian culture, where it happens in India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in America. It doesn't happen in, I don't know, like Sudan.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in other Muslim countries. So I wouldn't class it as a Muslim issue or an Islamic issue.
Yeah.
This is purely a cultural issue.
A cultural issue.
And it's really sad that we've brought the culture from Pakistan into the UK, which is fine. I love my culture. There's certain aspects of it I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
But there's certain aspects that if they don't assimilate with your life as it is in 2025, you've got to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
See, if you tell your daughter, hell or high water, you're staying there, what you're effectively saying is that if he mistreats you, if he beats you, if there's domestic abuse going on, if there's financial abuse going on, whatever condition he keeps you in, you've got no recourse. Effectively, it's a death sentence, and it's a random death sentence because it could be that he might be a really nice guy, and hey, you know,
it's like a gamble,
it's
in
a gamble. It's a lottery. But why are we still propagating, pushing them into the fire when we should be like, no, you know what? You go, you're getting married, spot on, perfect. We've done our little bit of research. You've got to know him, etc. But you know what? If things go wrong, door's always open.
Yeah.
You know, don't think that the door's shut because you've got. And I don't understand the benefit of having that policy of, you're married, that's it.
Don't come back.
What's the benefit in it?
Yeah. You know, I did think that we have moved away from this. You know, it's even Islamically, like you're right. It's not an Islamic, perspective. It's not an Islamic opinion. But I did think that we have moved away from this. But I've seen it even my family, alhamdulillah, is very much like we're like, mashallah, good. Like we've got educated people in the family. My elder sisters, even my cousins, everyone's like, mashallah, in their own careers, in their own paths. And then we have the Islam side as well, But even in my own family, I've seen it, like our elders have said, Putter, when you go there, you stay there, you don't come back. Your job is to make sure, like, they say,
just stay there, basically.
Just basically.
Don't
just
move.
be there.
But here's the thing. The elders are the elders. I don't blame the elders for having an opinion. I don't blame them for having certain understandings and what they do because that's their generation.
Yeah.
Like I always say, my mum's 82 now.
Yeah.
Right now, she is 82, which basically means she's of a certain generation. She came in this country in 1966.
Mashallah.
Right? So she's never changed.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know about TikTok and Instagram and all that. Even if she does, her mindset has been solidified now.
Yeah.
So I don't take anything that my mum says relating to, let's say, divorce or marriage or house seriously because that generation has passed. Her time has gone. Her generation, she's brought up her kids, she's bringing up her grandkids, all that stuff, that's gone. What scares me is this generation, not even my generation, one below us, who are in their early 20s now, we're old now, right? The one below us, your generation, They still believe in that. They're still like, okay, I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna stick it out. No, why should you? Just because they've said it, doesn't mean you got to do it. You got to have your own mindset as well. You got to have your own brain as well.
Yeah. I feel like I needed this more than the viewers, so I'm probably going to leave it to and think, mashallah. Yeah, you're actually right, because even me personally, myself, I would be like, yeah, okay, because I've seen my mum, you know, and obviously I'm 31, so looking at my mum growing up, how my mum's been through things and what she's gone through and how she's just been there. And we're always taught sabr, and even now,
sorry to cut you. Sabr is a massively misused concept within both Islamic teaching and especially more so in culture. Sabr does not mean, and you'll probably correct me, your Islamic sort of knowledge is way, way beyond my own. Sabr does not mean that someone keeps battering you and you accept it. And that's what we've taught. Culturally, we're taught sabr basically means stay there, it'll be fine. Stay there, stay put. That's not what sabr is.
He'll be fine, yeah.
That's not what sabr is. But we use it. See, again, like I always say, we use Islam as a shield and a sword. When it suits us, we use it as a shield.
Yeah.
When it suits us, we use it as a sword.
Yeah.
But we're misusing it.
Yeah.
We're just completely misusing it. We're using it for our own purposes.
Yeah.
We're using it for our own needs, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, if it suits our argument, well, Islamically you can't do this. Well, hang on, Islamically, there's loads of things that I know
that
and
you
you know.
Yeah.
You tell the Pakistani community.
Yeah.
And they'll go, I was speaking to an Islamic theologian, very good friend of mine. He's studied Islamic theology.
Yeah.
I think he's got a PhD in it, actually. And he was telling me, he said, Islamically, on the nikah nama, a woman can retain the rights of talaq.
Yeah. Yes, she can. Yeah.
She can, right? You know this as well, right? How many times has that happened?
Yeah.
I'm asking, how many times has that happened?
Not many.
Not many. Name one.
Yeah.
Never.
Actually, you're right, yeah.
Right, never. But now, just let me give you a scenario. Girl's getting married. The Malana's there. The husband's there. The in-laws are there. Now, the wife, Islamically, she's well within her God-given Islamic right to turn around to the Malana and say, I want the talaq rights reverted to me. I am allowed to give the husband the talaq.
Yeah.
The husband's not allowed to give me talaq, which Islamically is correct. We both agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you tell me what would happen if a girl did that on the day of the nikah. And then I'll tell you where culture supersedes Islam.
Yeah. The thing is, with that opinion that you've mentioned about a woman having the
rights.
Basically the authority of divorce. So instead of, because obviously we know Islamically, generally, the general rule is that it's the male, he has the 3 divorces, he can give it any given time, whenever he wants, however, well, not whenever he wants, but he has to have a grounding
there
as
has
to
to
why.
be grounds, reasons.
Whereas if a woman was to say, like before, like, I mean, on the nikah day, that's obviously will come as a massive shock.
I mean, I'm just being overly dramatic, but what I'm saying is that she insisted upon it, you know, like as part of a condition
so some,
to get married.
You know, I mean, I've not actually never come across a case ever.
And how many women know about that, though?
Yeah, yeah.
See, because we're always taught, when I say we as Muslims, Pakistanis, especially Pakistanis, we're always taught that, and there's a viewpoint that Islam is more male-orientated than it is female-orientated.
Yeah.
Where I personally think, if you research Islam and you actually go do a deep dive, women have probably got more authority, more rights, more standing, you want to call it, in Islam than men have. First person to accept Islam was who?
Yeah.
A woman.
Yeah, woman.
First shaheed.
Yeah.
Woman.
Yeah.
First woman. First university ever opened. A woman. All these things. Who gives birth? A woman.
Yeah.
Who could naturally feed their child? A woman.
Yeah. So it's a woman, SubhanAllah, you're right. You know, alhamdulillah, you know, Islam has given a beautiful status, you know, a standing to women. And obviously we learn this from the Seerah anyway. When we study the Seerah, we know that the Prophet ﷺ actually fought for women, right?
100%.
That's what he came with, because prior to that, the women, obviously we know what was happening with them when daughters were being born, what was happening to them.
Absolutely.
So then when the Prophet ﷺ came, he came with the mindset of no, this is not accepted, it's going to change.
But then my question is, how much has it changed?
Yeah.
In a nice way, I'm asking, not in a bad way, where we're telling our daughters and our sisters, you go there, hell, high water, beatings, starvation, locking you in the cellar, whatever happens, you're staying there. You're sending them with a mindset of a defeated person in the first place. You're basically saying you don't have an equal right there.
Yeah.
Your husband is the be all and end all of everything. Yeah, he keeps you happy, he keeps you sad, he keeps you fed, not fed, he gives you money. You stay there. Like you said, stay. That's good. You stay there. Where's that?
Yeah,
Show me one hadith.
Yeah.
Show me one verse of the Quran.
Yeah.
Show me even a weak hadith, a daif hadith that says that that's what you're supposed to do.
You should do, yeah.
But no, it's culture.
Yeah.
It's culture.
So, like, what would you say? So, like, as in what you're saying, I completely agree with that. There's no place for violence. There's no place for this type of, like, oppression. It's oppression in a way, isn't it? And, women do have a basic, when they go for khula, right? In Islam, within the Sharia, if a woman is being oppressed, she has a grounding to seek a divorce.
Absolutely.
Because even for women that go for khula, they have to have a reason. Sometimes if you go to the Sharia council, they will say no.
Yeah, but the reason doesn't have to be major.
Yeah.
See, and I think there's a misnomer with the term khula.
Yeah.
Because khula actually means by agreement.
Yeah.
So khula is basically, this is where a lot of people come to us, sisters come to us. They're like, I want a khula. I'm like, you don't want a khula.
Mm-hmm.
A khula is by agreement. So khula is basically, you say to your husband, I want a divorce. Husband says, fine, give me back my gold.
Yeah.
I will give you a talaq.
Yes, yeah.
That's a khula. It's basically by consent, by agreement.
Yeah.
A fusk is basically the sister's application to have the marriage dissolved, with or without the husband's consent.
Right.
She goes to us, or she comes to us, a Sharia council. She says, I want to dissolve my marriage. Now, the reasons could be, they don't have to be major. From my understanding and from my learning, I think there's a very prominent hadith. From my understanding, it's a Sahih hadith as well. It's been transmitted. They could trace back the transmission, where a woman went to Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and said, I want to divorce my husband. And Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, why? And she said, he smells.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've read this.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So this is what I took out of it. So this is my personal interpretation within the sort of framework of Islam. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, why? And she said, he smells. So Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, okay, give me a couple of days, leave it with me, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So he told the Sahaba Ikram, he said, go get this man and bring him to me. So the Sahaba Ikram brought the man, and Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, take him away, bathe him, wash him, clean him up, put some nice clothes, put some nice perfumes on him, etc. So they did this. A couple of days later, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought the lady back, and he said to the lady, have a look at him now. And the lady said, fine, I'll take him. I don't want a divorce. I don't want a fuss. I'm fine. For me, it's a hadith. What you take from that hadith is a couple of things.
Yeah.
Firstly, the reason the woman gave.
Yeah.
He smells.
Yeah.
Any other person would be like, that's not good enough reason.
Yeah.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself never said this is a bad reason.
Yeah.
He didn't say it was a good reason. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, leave it with me.
Yeah.
But he not once did Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say, this is not good enough reason.
Mm-hmm.
They went, okay, that's fine. So these are the kind of things that you have to take out. But when culturally it doesn't suit their needs, they won't look at stuff like that.
Yeah, they won't look at it.
They'll say, no. Well, hang on a minute. What about this? Like I said, sword, shield. We use it as and when. We don't use it. Like some sisters come to me and say, I wanna dissolve my nikah, and I say, why? And they'll give, the reason might not be huge.
Yeah.
It might just be like, he doesn't spend enough time with me.
Yeah.
He doesn't do chores around the house. He doesn't. And we'll be like, okay, as far as, I'm not qualified Islamic person, scholar, or imam to make that judgment, but we'll get an opinion.
Yeah.
And if that opinion correlates with what you're saying, then that's fine. We're more than happy to go ahead with it. And so it's not as strict as people think it is.
Yeah.
People have made Islam very, very strict in there for their own worth, for their own sort of needs.
Their own needs, yeah.
Yeah. So you go to some of these Sharia councils.
Yeah.
The questions they ask these sisters.
Yeah.
Astaghfirullah. I mean, why are you asking these sisters? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You must have had sisters.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Where does it say in Sharia that that's what you have to do?
Yeah.
Show me one hadith where it says before a woman gets a fusk or gets a khula, she has to answer all these questions to 4 men who are literally prodding and poking her and almost Thoba is giving her advice with regards to things that they should have no concern about.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Is that Islam?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're correct. So what is the most common family law issues that you deal with in the South Asian community?
It's always roughly in and around in-laws, family. That's it, basically. Majority of it depends on the marriage. See, if you have somebody who's got married from Pakistan, it has a different flex on it. And I always find when we say Pakistan, it's a double thing. See, a girl can get married from Pakistan and a guy can get married from Pakistan.
Yeah.
So when the guy gets married from Pakistan, there's less hassle.
Okay.
He's the guy.
Why do you think that is?
Right. He's the breadwinner.
Right, okay.
Right. So I'm 25, 26. I work for a bank. I'm on 30, 35 grand a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Pakistan, get married to some girl, bring her over. Now, when I'm bringing that girl over, I'm not expecting any economic benefits from her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting her to work. Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting her to provide. I'm not expecting her to bring in a second income. I'm expecting other things from her. She's going to look after me. She's going to give me a couple of kids. She's going to look after my mum and dad. We're going to have a nice life together. We're going to get on. But the bulk of the heavy lifting is going to be me.
Yes.
I'm the one who's going to get the mortgage. I'm the one who's going to pay the bills. I'm going to yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Now, when that marriage doesn't work, a guy from here and the girl from Pakistan, when that marriage doesn't work, there's different reasons. Usually it's to do with in-laws interfering. And after a certain time, let's say, I don't know, 15, 20 years, either the guy gets bored or basically the girl then starts making moves as, I want my kids to get married from Pakistan. And the guy's like, well, I'm from here and I've brought them up differently,
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. So you have loads of different angles. Majority of the time is girls who are from here who get married to the guys from Pakistan.
Okay.
Right, because what happens then? The girls from here are used to a certain lifestyle. They're used to having a certain amount of freedom. They're used to basically doing things. Not only that, the economic headache transfers to the guy from Pakistan. He ain't going to make 40 grand a year, usually anyway.
Yeah.
He ain't making 30 grand a year. There's a certain limit of a job that he's going to do. There's a certain limit of income he's going to bring in every month.
Yeah.
The girl most likely isn't going to work.
Yes.
Because, again, it's that thing where the guy says you're not allowed to work. Say at home, she might be expecting, there might be different things.
Yeah.
The girl usually gets frustrated.
Yeah.
And then what happens? A girl from Pakistan, so if the wife is from Pakistan, there's no demands on her.
Yeah.
See, if you're a
Yeah.
girl from Pakistan, your
Yeah.
parents aren't going, send me 10 million rupees, I need to build
Yeah.
a haveli, and I need to
Yeah.
make roti, and I need to do body, and I need to do this, and I
Yeah.
need to do that. But if you're a guy from Pakistan, you've got double economic demands. Your wife here and your family here, rightly so, they've got the first dibs
Yeah.
on you. And then you've got them back home as
Back
well.
home as well. Yeah.
The girl's going to get frustrated. The English
Yeah.
girls, quote unquote, she's going to get frustrated.
Yes.
She'll be like, well, what about us? We're living in a 2-bedroom back-to-back. And your dad's gone and built a 18-story mansion in the middle of farmhouse in the middle of Meatput for who?
Yeah.
For the people there.
Yeah.
And what about us lot? There's a big difference between girl getting married from Pakistan and a guy getting married from Pakistan.
Yeah. Do you know, it's funny that you mention all of this, because when you look at the Sharia now, because obviously I can only speak from Sharia perspective.
Absolutely.
So in the Sharia, we have a suitability part in when it comes to marriage.
Absolutely.
So obviously there's loads of components when it comes to marriage. There's a husband, the wife, the legal guardians, the testimonies, the ijab and the qabul. And then you have a suitability section. Now, in that suitability section, it mentions about balad. Balad is country or city where you're from. So it says that when you as a woman, or as a man as well, when you're looking to get married, one of the things that you should take into mind is where you are marrying from. So for example, if I'm living in a place where the country is, mashallah, thriving, you have good amounts of wealth, you have good amounts of income, all these things. If you now decide to go to a place and get married to someone from the village who is earning £0, nothing at all, in comparison to you, you can't then expect, this is for men and women,
Absolutely.
you can't expect that person coming from that, this is why they have balad. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that this is one of the suitability conditions you look at. But if I make the decision, so if I'm like earning 30 grand a year, for example, but I make the conscious decision myself, no, I want to go back home, I want to get married. Now, if I get married to a man from a village who does not earn anything, and I decide to bring him over to this country where I'm earning £30,000, and now I expect him to earn more than me.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
This is the reason why we have, like, you're speaking from your perspective, which is correct. But at the same time, because you speak from the legal system, right? And obviously Islamically as well. But in Islam, it mentions this.
But this is what I'm saying. But how many people, again,
They
go
won't do
down
that.
They won't
They
this
wont
is what
do
I'm
that.
saying.
They'll say
They
like,
don't
no,
go,
yeah, the
culture,
families
culture,
have,
culture,
yeah,
culture.
yeah.
Culture wins.
Sometimes you
Hands
even
down.
find, even though we're in like 2025, like we're in a very advanced era at the moment with technology, AI, everything. We're so advanced. Even now, you still have this concept of, when the children are born, and they have this, I don't know if you've ever come across this, or they give Zuban, or your daughter is going to marry my son. This is now, even now.
Even now?
Even now, you
Wow.
have this. And they'll make a comment about it. So they won't say it like directly, but they'll say, oh, that's good. She's a little bit younger than him. Or, you know, I'm going to ask for you're going to, you make sure you ask for my daughter's
No, I mean,
rishta.
it happened. I know it happened to my sister.
Yeah.
When my sister was born.
Right, okay.
I think my dad pretty much gave Zuban to
It
his
still
older
happens
brother,
today, you know.
and that was back in the early 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
And how you can, I mean, them days were different because you could almost guide it to that point.
Yes.
This day and age,
Yeah.
you can't guide it to that point.
But that's the thing. Sometimes especially with sisters, because obviously I only deal with sisters. I don't speak to I don't advise men. So with the sisters, I see it.
That's bonkers.
I see it that the sisters are like, oh, our Zuban was already done. My grandma said, like, this is not long. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. There was 2 sisters that used to study with me, and they were both going to Pakistan. So I said, all right, okay. They said, oh yeah, Sada, we're going to get married. I said, okay, so who are you marrying? Oh, it's our this sons, and they're both brothers, and we're marrying them. She said, and then she said to me, she goes, our rishta was done years ago.
A year before we were even born.
Years and years and years ago, our rishta was already done, and we already had in our mind that we're going to marry this person.
They're almost institutionalized.
Yeah. So
You know,
as
they're
soon as
almost
they
sort
finished
of,
their university,
yeah,
as soon as they were done,
brainwashed.
the family was like, right, you're done with university, now we're going to go back, get married, and you're going to, khalas, that's it.
But which is crazy. Because again, what happened to free will? What happened to choice? What happened to the criteria you just mentioned?
Yeah.
What happened to all that?
Yeah.
Nothing. Because culture always wins.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And do you think this is the reason why there's so many problems that especially youngsters, this generation that I'm talking about now, have in their marriages?
I think there's a few reasons for the sort of divorce rates, if you want to call it, within the Asian community. There's an older generation that are getting divorced quite a lot.
Yeah.
Sort of like in the late 40s, early 50s, they're getting divorced simply because it was an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead. Mum's dead, dad's dead, father-in-law's dead, mother-in-law's dead, kids have grown up. What are me and you doing together?
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Wow, yeah.
Literally, I see it all the time. And then you've got the younger generation, all they want to do is placate their parents,
Yeah.
right? So, but the daughter, you're going to go Pakistan, you know, like I said, I've given Zuban, whatever. Because the kid, who's 22, 23, isn't thinking she's my wife. He's thinking, I'm bringing somebody over to keep my mum and dad quiet, right? I'm keeping them quiet. I'm going to bring her over. She's going to live with them, because we're all one joint family system anyway.
Yeah.
She's going to live with them. I don't have to think about this. It's all theirs. I'm just whatever. Let me do my thing. And now the world, we got so many distractions everywhere.
Yes.
We've got social media.
Yes.
We've got, cars. We've got this. We've got that. We've got everything is just a moment. Everything's just next, but you just move it. You can just turn your head. I always say you're 2 clicks from crazy.
Yeah.
2 clicks on your phone, 2 clicks on a PC, 2 clicks on a social media app. You're in the land of crazy. Too many distractions. And now everybody, what I've certainly found is, and if you'll see it, you might have seen it yourself, we want things. Mm-hmm. Right? This is when I say we want things, we don't want, we were talking earlier, we don't want human traits anymore.
Yeah.
What we're after is things.
Materialistic.
And it always reminds me, I follow Sheikh Hamza Yusuf quite a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if you,
if
you do. And I remember his old lecture. I started listening to him, I think, in 1996, 97. It's been years. And I find him very, very progressive. And he said in Latin, the word for real comes from the Latin word for res. And res literally means things. It means things.
Right,
res.
okay.
And that became the word for rail. In English, we say rail. Is that rail?
Yes.
Right? But when we say rail in English, what we mean is actual things. Now, in Arabic, the word for rail is haqiqat. But the root word of haqiqat is al-haq, which is?
The truth.
Which is also one of the?
Names of Allah.
Names of Allah. So our truth isn't embedded in things. Our truth is from a higher plane.
Yeah,
it's actually one of the 99 names of God. So when someone says, when people say, oh, that is so haqiqat, this thing is haqiqat, you must have heard it in Urdu, it means the truth. The root word of haqiqat is al-haq. Al-haq is the truth, but the truth is also one of the 99 names of God. Now, the reason I'm saying this is that we've gone into a word of res. We've gone into a Latin world. We've gone into a thing, I want things. You see, I've seen, like my nephew's 30. I've got another nephew who's like 27, 28. I've got a niece who's 26. They're not married. But you see these like Rushdie adverts. And it's always things.
Yes.
He's got to be at least 6 foot.
Yeah,
minimum 6 foot. Got to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Got to drive an Audi.
Yeah.
Got to be on 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
Bus.
Yeah.
Is that it? Deen, Iman, looking after elders, respect for youngers, all that stuff. Well, forget that Marogoli. We just want an Audi RS3 and we want a 6'2".
Yeah.
And he's got to have a gym body.
Yeah.
But after things, that's it.
And
That core of inside that humanity.
Yeah.
Like, I always say, people always say, oh, well, how do I learn about Islam? I'm not saying people ask me, but generally, go backwards.
Yeah.
Go back to the days of the Sahaba Ikram. Go back to the days of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Go back to the days of teachings of Ibn Taymiyyah. Go back to teachings of all the great scholars that we had in Islam. They had nothing to do with 6-packs and Audis. It was to do with what? The Iman.
Yeah.
Their personality. And all the hadiths we've got, all the tales we've got, all the sayings we've got, we don't have a visible eye as to what these people look like.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. But again, you use your akal,
Yeah.
you'll see it. There's a reason we can't depict Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There's a reason. Why? We'll get fixated
Yes.
on the bodily form.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, look at this, mustache, MashaAllah, the eyes. No. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, no. Why? It's all about the teachings.
Yeah.
It's all about what they said.
Yeah, and what they came with.
What they came with. Even all the scholars, or you look at Isa al-Islam, Musa al-Islam, even, Ali Islam, all of them, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq al-Islam, Umar, all of them.
The Sahaba,
all of them.
Yeah.
Sayings. There's no physical formation.
There's no formation.
Now what we have to today in this day and age?
Is formation and
It's all formation.
taking,
Look at him. He's got brilliant. I only learnt last year what a whip meant.
Oh.
Yeah. Someone said, he's got a lovely whip. And I was like, what's a whip?
The only whip we know is the
Right. The whip I knew was the one in Moscow at home where you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, it's a car. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Forget everything else now. As long as he's got a nice car and he's got Balenciaga.
Yeah.
That's all we care.
Yeah, it's really sad. And, it's really, when you go into something like that, you'll find that as everything that you've just mentioned about the materialistic things to the haqq and the truth and the reality of things, is when these people go into these marriages, they start thinking, that's when it hits them. And they're thinking, what have I done?
But this is the problem, isn't it?
What have I got myself into?
When you're getting to know someone or dating somebody, whatever you want to call it, that initial period, that person, be it a girl or a guy, is going to tell you everything you want to know.
Yeah. Best behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know if that guy is the best in his family or he's the black sheep in the family.
Yes.
Why? Because you don't have context. You've not seen him in his family.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's a good friend, he's a bad friend. He's a good uncle, he's a bad uncle. You've not seen all the other doors. You've not seen him within a scenario where you can test that. All it is what he is giving you from his zaban.
Yeah.
I'm the best at this. I'm brilliant. Oh, no, I'm going to do this. I've got to do that. Soon as push comes to shove, you go into his family as a girl.
Yes.
You realize, hang on a minute. I just got married to the donkey of the family. I got married to the guy that these guys were praying would get married. Does that make sense? Like he's the like black sheep. He hasn't done anything and I'm married to this guy. That's his role within the family.
Yeah.
You didn't know that though, but when you're courting, it's all happy, isn't it?
So what advice would you give to someone that's in that situation right now?
Keep testing.
Where everything does seem like best behavior vibes type of thing.
I always say people give themselves away, not in the big things, it's the little things.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for the little things, never the big things.
Yeah.
If someone, it's really difficult to give an example, but when someone says something that they think is inconsequential, you pick that up and think, hang on a minute, there's just something not quite right. There's something not quite sitting right. So I got a lot of friends who are looking to get married or divorced and looking to get married, and there's always that one little thing. And then sometimes if you push that little thing, the real personality comes out. So I've got friends who are looking to get married and they'll get to know a guy and they'll be chatting to him for like a month. It's all good. 2 months, it's all good. And then what they'll try to do is sneak something in there.
Yes.
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because the girl is thinking, I've got to know him for about a month and a half.
Yeah.
Was this not a mistake or am I reading too much into it? And it's like, no, push it.
Yeah.
Let's see how far. And when they push it, it all comes out.
Yes.
That's their fitrat. That's how they are.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to test a person.
Yeah, you've got to test
Not
it.
in that extreme sense.
Yes, yes.
But just in terms of what they think.
Yeah.
What do they think about their own family? What do they think about the wider community? What's their deen like? Are they just saying, yeah, I've just finished reading namaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How many times do you read? I read 7 times a day. I'm just really religious. I've got 7 namaz on, then I read the Hajjat twice as well. Read Fajr at 5, and then I read Fajr again at 7.
Yeah.
I'm that.
Yeah.
Using
It's
that.
all talk, yeah.
And then once you get married, you think, whoa, get to know the person as best as you can, the most you can. And here's the other thing. I've got a very, very close friend. I went to uni with him, and he did a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
He got to know a girl, and I thought it was very, very, right, this was years ago, very, very clever and very noble, in fact. He gave that girl the number to everybody in his family.
Right, okay.
His 2 sisters, 3 brothers, nephews, nieces, uncles. He said, you ring whoever you want.
Yeah.
I've told him, I'm getting to know you. You ring whoever, and you can ask whatever you want about me. And then what happens is, you then get, I'm not saying everybody's going to do this, but you get a holistic view of somebody.
Yeah.
How does the uncle look at him? How does the auntie look at him? How is he with his nephews? How is he with his sisters? You get like a global view.
Of him, yeah.
But very rarely is somebody going to be that open.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yes.
It's difficult. It's a bit of a quagmire out there for people looking to get married, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lack of deep people. Everybody's the girls are superficial. Mm-hmm. The guys are superficial.
Yeah. And it's all this Instagram world, isn't it? The internet world.
Does it look good in a picture?
Yeah.
That's the first question.
Yeah.
Why do you think we do all these weddings the way we do them?
Yeah.
There's even a word for it now. Is it Instagrammable?
Yeah.
Right?
So even if you go to restaurants as well, they have a different menu for the Instagram section.
Right, there you go.
There's
So again, we've become
a
a world of show,
Yeah.
not depth. We're not deep anymore. It's a world of show. It's I want to look. I want the other person to go, wow, isn't she living their best life?
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. But what you have to do is recognize that that's where society is heading. That's where that's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's not going to get better. And even as Pakistani society now, we're doing things and we're involved in things that 20 years ago, I certainly would never have dreamt about. You probably have no idea. We're having children before marriage. We're basically having multiple wives, not in an Islamic sense. Multiple wives where you just think, because it says I can. Mm-hmm. That's one of the big things now, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it. Mm-hmm. Multiple wives.
Yes.
I'm allowed 4 wives.
Yes, I can do it.
But there's criteria.
There's criteria, conditions.
And not only that, just because you can, it doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if I think I can afford to keep 2 women happy, doesn't mean that I have to do it. There's not much booty.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
But they do it because first of all, it basically pampers for them manliness.
Yeah. It's lack of knowledge, do you not think?
Of course it is, but no.
Is it-
But is it a deliberate lack of knowledge?
Yeah.
When I say deliberate, if they know the truth, then they can't do anything. But if they hide the truth from themselves and just say, no, but God said I'm allowed 4 wives, I don't want to look any deeper.
Yeah.
Because if I look any deeper,
Then I don't,
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep the knowledge base just here because that suits my narrative.
Yeah.
It suits my narrative. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you advise when it comes to like Islamic Sharia?
Yeah.
And then obviously like the civil law?
Yeah. I mean, civil law, I know.
So how do
I
you
would say
find that middle ground when it comes to your clients, when they come to you?
It depends what they want.
Yeah.
See, if the civil law is very, very straightforward. It's in a bunch of statutes, it's in a bunch of acts, it's in a bunch of sort of sections, subsections.
Yeah.
Act 1, section 1, subsection 1, boom, says this, and this. They've got a criterion how they're going to divide the assets.
Yeah.
They've got a criterion how and when a father or a mother should see the child and what entails that. Islamically, this is where people get slightly confused, is because they try to mix the two up. Now, a lot of the times, I find they are compatible.
Okay.
If you follow Islam the way it's meant to be followed with regards to fairness, with regards to sustenance, with regards to provision, Islamically and legal laws aren't that different.
Yeah.
The basis and the actual sort of general tonality of them is the same.
Yeah.
What they do is they say you have to provide.
Yes.
Provide for the children. You know, even Islam says you've got to provide for the orphans and the widows. That's
Yeah.
one of the most famous ones, right?
Yeah.
family law isn't that far different. In terms of when people get divorced, you gotta
Yeah,
provide.
nafaqat. We call it nafaqat in Arabic.
Right.
The child, like the maintenance, the child maintenance that you have.
Right.
You know
that
what?
was 1,500 years ago.
Yeah, very long time.
got
Very,
to
very.
set up
And
now
look now,
child maintenance
subhanallah.
services.
You know, that's one thing that I do. Like, for example, now when you was talking about men saying that, yes, you know, I can marry 4 wives, so I'm going to marry them. When it comes to things like this, nafaqat, I actually just met a sister a couple of days ago. We had a gathering in the masjid and she came by chance and she said to me that she's left her husband. She's got 3 kids with him. And he, mashallah, has a very, very good, highly paid job.
Mashallah.
But he only pays £7
Mashallah.
in child maintenance.
Brilliant.
And Islamically, nafaqat, because obviously they're going down like the Islam route of this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. But actually there's a whole chapter on maintenance in the Sharia.
Wow.
So they're not able to uphold certain things, but they want to go down the Islamic route, you know. But then when it comes to things like this that don't, again, you know, it's not subjected to their narrative, they'll say, no, we don't want to do it.
See, but this is the thing. We make Islam, I personally think anyway, in my personal opinion, we make Islam a lot more difficult than it really is.
Yes.
Islam
I
is
agree
very
with you,
simple.
Yeah. Yes,
it's
it is,
very
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Right? And not only that, let's just say for 2 minutes, forget Islam, forget law, forget everything. What happened to just common decency?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like the sister you're saying,
Yeah.
she's got 3 kids. They're your kids.
Yes.
You know, Mr. So-and-so, they're your kids. What happened to just common decency?
Yeah.
Going, they're my kids. She's born with 3 kids. They're going to be mine forever. You can't change your father, can you? They're my kids. I should just provide for. Forget Islam for 2 minutes. I'm not religious and I don't want to go down the law route. Just as a normal, decent human being, as a decent father, I just want to provide for my kids. We can't even get that far.
Yeah, it's just that insanity, you know, that you have
They
inside
have
you.
nothing. Because what happens when they get divorced? They want to kill each other. See, then Islam goes out the window.
Yeah.
Then it takes a running jump, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Nobody, to this day, I've probably had about 2, maybe 3 clients. Very rarely do they actually use Islam when it comes to the talaq side.
Yeah.
When it comes to looking after the children. When it comes to the sustenance of the children. Even with the iddat period, you've got to provide your wife with 3 months sustenance and maintenance.
Yes, maintenance, yep.
No.
Nothing, yeah.
Nothing
You know, like in Islamic law, if there's something, so like this is what we teach when we're teaching students, is that if between Islamic law and the legal law, right? So like the professional advice and the legal civil law that we have, if there is a clash, as Muslims, we are taught in the Sharia that the Islam side takes precedence, right?
Absolutely.
So when it comes to your legal advice, clients, or when they come to you in your line of work, what do you do when there is a clash?
I just tell them straight. But that's only if they're interested
Yes.
in the Islamic side. Now, by virtue of the fact that they've already come to me and they know that, first of all, Sharia is not the ruling law in this land. So it's not legally enforceable. It's not legally binding. That's a contract that maybe them two can have on their own.
Yes.
With regards to the Sharia side of it. The legal side of it, obviously, we tell them how things are.
Yeah.
Then it's entirely up to them whether they want to pursue it or not. 99% of them pursue it simply because it might offer them a better deal than they think that Sharia law is not going to offer them a better deal. And we make sense. So the husband and the wife, especially the wife as well, I suppose, she'll be like, okay, I'm going to pursue that angle because I know it's going to give me
More benefit.
yeah, but I don't blame her because she also knows if I go down the Sharia route, who is actually going to implement it?
Yeah.
Most of these councils are full of men. Most of them are going to fall on the man's side. The man willingly is not going to give me anything. He's never going to play ball. It's not legally binding. So what am I supposed to do? Take his word for it. That he is going to give me the house. He will let me live here. Why should I? I've got a legal route. So it's actually our fault. As Muslims,
Yeah.
if we had a much better system, a more system that people actually believed in properly and enforced it themselves, so everybody else could say, well, hang on a minute, so-and-so did it and nothing happened, so-and-so did it and nothing happened. This is a system that works,
Yeah.
right? We won't have to go down the legal route.
Yeah. You know, there is a concept in the Sharia as well, that Dar al-Harb. So if you're living in a non-Muslim land, you've got to follow their law.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like, I mean, it's really hard to give an opinion on this because really as Muslims, for us, our life and our guidance is the Quran.
100%.
You know,
100%.
so when it comes to like the legal side of things and the way that the country has, sometimes they'll say, oh no, we'll do it like this and let's do it between us, right? But then they don't, like you said, they don't enforce what they've you know.
They won't do it.
Whereas legally, so I'll give you a prime example because I have a lot of sisters that come to me about child maintenance, and they're always of the mindset, they are told sometimes that just let it go, you know, Islamically, just let it go. Why are you doing that on his work? Especially those brothers that have good paid jobs, like, you know, through the government, they automatically take it out of his wages.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
so,
you
you know,
can go direct to the wage.
it's a route which is, I mean, in some way is good. But then Islamically, the sisters are thinking, oh, am I doing wrong by doing that? Am I doing wrong? And I always explain to them that no, because child maintenance is within the Sharia, you know. But
So
then the brothers, what they do is they are saying to the sisters that, oh no, we'll just decide amongst that. I'll give you £200.
Yeah.
I'll give you £200 a week. Stop the child maintenance. Whereas on child maintenance, she would have been getting £500 a week.
Yep, 100%.
So he'll say, no, leave the child maintenance, you know, because it's going out of my wage, it's not good for my job or whatever. I'll give you £200. Let's agree on that.
And he'll do that for about 3 weeks and then stop.
Yeah, because
then
now
when
it's
she
not
stops,
legally anymore.
it's not.
Yeah, and then the
See,
sisters
that's
are
what I'm
back to square one again.
This is the problem. So when the thing is, everything is about reasonability.
Yeah,
I think anyway. And Islam's about reasonability, and Islam's about the middle path. So for me, if you can agree something, let's say like child maintenance, if you can agree that with your ex-partner, then agree it, not a problem. If you can't agree it, you've got a recourse.
Yeah.
And that recourse is reasonable. Because they're not saying to him, we want all your salary. They're saying, listen, you got kids.
Yeah.
They've got needs.
Yeah.
And we have decided that them needs equal X.
yeah,
What's wrong with that?
yeah,
So people say, oh, we don't like the law of this land and we don't, okay, fine. But tell me what's wrong with that. You know, when you go to court, and let's say the wife gets the house in the
Yeah.
finances, right? The judge will look at the wife, look at the 3 kids and say, well, hang on a minute. That woman and them 3 kids need a roof over their head.
yeah,
Husband, you're earning 40 grand a year. She's not earning. She's on UC.
yeah,
You are going to make all that money back. You're 35, 40. You can work for another 25 years. She's got to look after these little kids until they're at least, I'd say, latest 21 when they finish uni.
yeah,
Why doesn't she deserve the house? She's looking after your blimmin' kids. How is that so different, you know, from Sharia law? How is that so different, markedly different from the position from Sharia law? But it's always, well, we don't like the, why? Because it doesn't suit our narrative.
yeah,
We want to go because they always know Islamically, number one, Islamically, you can twist things. We know that. Islamically, you can twist whatever you want. Twist it. It's suiting my needs, right? That's what we're going to implement. Whereas legal side, you can't really twist it.
yeah,
It's there. It's in black and white. Like I said, it's in statutes, it's in acts, it's in sections, subsections. You can't twist it.
Yeah.
Islamically, you can twist anything
yeah,
to suit your needs. Because what do you do? What a lot of people do and what everybody does, you take a quote that has no beginning, that has no end, and you take that quote in the middle. And that quote is the one you use.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't put it into context.
Yeah.
You don't put it into the scenario that maybe the hadith was said in.
yes,
There's also hadiths that have said been like previously about that same topic, and hadiths that might
Yeah.
abrogate that
I was
particular
just gonna
hadith.
say, yeah,
But no.
Yeah.
We're taking that particular hadith, that one liner,
Yes.
where it says did. That's what we're going to use,
that's what we're gonna use.
and that's our fault because as Muslims, that's where we've got to. That we're twisting, turning, manipulating Islam for our nefarious purposes to suit our needs.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I know we've spoken a lot about, you know, the sisters, but what about those who are manipulating the system? Not just men, but because obviously we talked about how it is more dominantly men that are favored in these scenarios,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to Islamic law and
Absolutely.
it comes to the Sharia law. We see that. But what about the sisters who do, you know, use it to their advantage? What do you say about that?
What can you say apart from, you know what, Islamically, again, firstly, you're not doing the right. And I know a lot of sisters.
Where the
they'll-
brothers are at the in a way they're being victimized.
I've seen women, and usually it doesn't happen in finances. Like, it doesn't happen about the house and the matrimony. That's clear cut because that's numbers on a piece
Yeah.
of paper. Your house is worth 100 grand, it's worth 100 grand.
Yes.
You're not going to get it up and down. It usually happens in children's cases,
Yeah.
right? Because this is the biggest problem that I find is, and Islamically, again, just tying it back in, women, a lot of women, at the beginning anyway, when the whole thing kicks off, they can't tell the difference between a husband and a father. You've left us.
Collectively.
We have left you.
Right.
Not, hang on a minute, me and you are married.
Yes.
As a wife, I'm leaving you. Or as a husband, I'm leaving the wife. Kids have got nothing to do with the price of beans. They're a separate entity. Women, generally women, in fact, 100% I'd say women, they come as a package deal.
With the kids.
With the kids. It's me and the kids. It's not, hang on a minute. You've left me, I've left you, whichever way around it is, not a problem. What happens with the kids? You're still their father. Do you want to have a relationship with them? He might turn around and say no. Give him that option at least. Yeah. Don't make the decision for him. And same with the men. You've left your wife, haven't you?
Yes.
Let her go. Don't say, all right, then take the kids as well. I don't want to see them. No. They're a separate entity. Now, what happens is kids always get used as pawns. Mm-hmm. Always. So there's, like they say, all is fair in love and war.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to this war, they use anything and everything. Usually it's the wives because they can make bigger allegations. They can make allegations of domestic violence. They can make allegations of abuse. They can make allegations of rape. They can make allegations of assault. They can make allegations of all sorts.
Yeah.
All that's doing is dragging out the procedure, dragging out the process for the father then to see their kids. And that in some weird cuckoo land that the wife lives in is making the wife happy. Now, I'm happy that these kids are deprived of a father, and I'm happy that the father is deprived of the kids. But having said that, obviously there are majority of the time, probably 50-50, where obviously there is genuine consent.
Yes.
Where the husband has been beating the wife, where the husband has been doing all these things to the wife, where the husband has not been nice to the kids. Then obviously it needs to be looked at properly and determine whether he is safe, or rather is safe for the children to have a relationship with their father. But I've seen too many women abuse that system.
Yeah.
Make false allegations. Why? Out of bitterness, out of angerness. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, it's not the women. It's the people behind the women. The mum and the dad. We brought you to England. Yeah, you must have heard that a million times. We brought you to England. We made you who you are. We let you send the money to Pakistan and you build all this Kotiyan Haveliyan. You're going to treat us like you're never seeing the kids again. Say to the daughter, you make sure he never sees the kids again. Otherwise, right. She now, he used to hit me and he used to throw me down the stairs and he used to, I don't know, put a fork in my eye and stuff. And crazy stuff. That
just
I've seen it
making
all.
things up, yeah.
I've seen everything you can think of, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And you just think, but what about the poor little kids? No, because they're in a push me, pull you situation, aren't they?
It's like the example that I was just giving to you before off camera was about the sister who got married from back home. She stayed with him for 10 years because he came over. So she brought him over straight away. And her father paid the deposit for the house. They bought a house together. Well, they didn't buy a house. It was hers. It was her father's. He gave it to her, said, you and your husband live in this house. He paid the deposit. The dad did. She stayed with him for 10 years. He didn't have any kids with her. After 10 years, when he had his visa, he had his permanent stay in the UK. As soon as he got that, he went back to Pakistan, stayed in Pakistan, somehow divorced her. He came back. He said to her that's it, I'm done with you, we're done. Took her to court to gain 50% of the house. Then went back home and is remarrying. Now, this sister, that boy that she got married to was her dad's brother's son. So it wasn't just their relationship breaking, like hers and his, and also him taking her to court and taking half of the property. It was actually the entire family now no longer speaks to each other. The brothers don't speak to each other.
Serves them right.
The mums don't speak to each other. The grandmas are naraz with everyone. Everything. But at the end of it all, forget about all the elders. That sister, she's the one that's suffering now because he just left her. So she's alone.
Right.
When she goes to her dad, when she goes to her father or speaks to him, he'll be like, that's it, it's done, dusted, I'm never speaking to them again. She's saying, no, but like, can you not help? Can you not, like, try and reconcile between us or anything? Nope. Because the elders have such harsh narazgi, like disagreements with each other now, and they're so angry at each other that they don't care what she wants or what he wants. They're like, no, that's it, we're putting an end to it.
That's not a marriage. That's a marriage by committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not husband and wife. That nikah nama should have had all the Handan's name on there.
Names on it.
Because what they should have said was, listen, although you're marrying her, we, 50 of us are marrying 50 of you. Right? So if one breaks, it all goes kaput. And this is what happens when you get married, number one, to super close family.
Yes.
And number two, when you have that cultural divide from Pakistan to UK.
Yeah.
Now, she went over and got married to her Taya son, right? Was it Taya son, right? She went to marry. She didn't know who he is.
Yeah.
She ain't got a flipping clue.
Yeah.
He could be good, he could be bad, he could be ugly. Like I said, where he sits in the framework of the village or that city or within that family or within that clan, she has no idea. He could have had 10 convictions for child abuse for all she knows. He could have been done 20 times for fraud. She hasn't got a clue. Why? Because the only thing that binding them together was the relationship.
Yeah.
He is my Taya's son. The daddy is going, he is my nephew. Therefore, he's whiter than milk. Right? And that is what's going to pull us through. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Not your personal relationship. Not if you get on or you don't get on. Not what he wants and what he doesn't want. Just the fact that he's my nephew will make this work.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work.
Now, that sister should have had the gumption before she went to Pakistan to kind of say, listen, what am I getting myself into here?
Yeah.
What exactly what am I signing up to? Who is this guy? Now, I get it. A lot of girls don't have that.
They don't have that.
They don't have that opportunity. But then what's on the other hand then? What's the recourse for that? It's the parents who need educating. And maybe it is the girl to rebel as well then. Yeah. Maybe the girl needs, women in your position need to educate these girls. And kind of say, listen, make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
She's been married 10 years. Now, I don't believe, from experience, I don't believe for 1 second that in them 10 years, she did not get a hint that this is what he was going to do.
Yeah.
She must have known.
Yeah.
Right? But she's been so browbeaten, she's been so put under, she probably didn't have the guts to divorce him.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the elders probably went, no, we're going to keep
You're
this
not
guy.
allowed.
You're
Yeah,
not
he
allowed.
wasn't allowed.
You're not allowed. Now what's happened? He's divorced her. And now the family. And here's the other thing, which I see a lot of. Two people are looking to get divorced. Pakistani community, very deep down Pakistani community. They're always waiting for the other person to make the move.
Yeah.
Because community-wise, they don't want to be the first one to make the move. Right? So the girl's family are looking at the boys going, are they going to divorce us? We're not going to divorce. Because if we divorce, community is going to say, well, you made the first move. So you're in the wrong. We think too much about this imaginary bloody community thing. And I'll be honest with you, nobody gives a flying monkeys. Everybody's got problems in their houses.
Yeah.
But we've got it in our head that somehow this community that don't pay our bills,
Yeah.
don't raise our children, they don't put money in our pockets, they are the be-all and end-all of everything. If we have their approval, and as long as they say that we're good people, that makes us good people. We're looking for validation from them rather than doing what's right, whether it's legally right or Islamically right or even morally just. No. What are they going to think? What is that? What is my one smelly cousin who lives 5,000 miles over there in some bin in the back end of Pakistan? Yeah. What is he going to think is more important than what my own daughter thinks?
Yeah. Do you think the expectations are very... the expectations and the pressure are different for men and women? Because I feel like women have a lot of... In terms of just the expectations in marriages, in going through a divorce or marrying... Marriage and divorce.
Marriage, I think, what I find, especially in the Pakistani community, the son is always the golden child. Yeah. So if you're a mother, you want your son to get married to the best woman in the world ever. Yeah. Who's going to be subservient, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, blah, 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 blah. And as a girl, I think as a parent, a lot of parents that I speak to are just like, we just want her to get married. After a certain sort of angle, 26, 27, 28, just get married. Yeah. Just, Farouk. Yeah. Just, we don't, he's got 3 legs and 4 arms and an eye patch.
It's fine. Get on
awesome.
with it.
Yeah. Let's sort it out.
Yeah.
That's the sort of difference you see. They always say a man can get married at the age of 40. Yeah. He can get married to a 27-year-old. Yeah. But a woman who's 40, not going to get married to a 27-year-old bloke. Yeah. Again, it's society. Even though, again, going back to it, Sallallahu did the same. Yeah. I'm making sense. He married a divorcee. Yes. Twice. I think once divorced, twice divorced. Yeah. Right. But again.
And widowed as well.
Widowed. And she had children.
Yeah.
Elder children. So, that's the way our cultural demark works.
Yeah.
40-year-old single woman ain't going to marry a 27-year-old single guy. But a 40-year-old single guy, he could get married to a 27-year-old single girl. Nobody would bat an eyelid. They say, good luck on him. He waited all that time. Yeah. He deserves someone younger.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about women. They are really emotionally blackmailed and pressurized a lot from their families to either just So sometimes it goes one or two ways. It's either stay there and don't move from there, stay there, don't come back, or it's the other way. Just leave him, come back. There's just recently, there was a case of a sister. She's got a newborn, and her mom and her dad were like, so there was like a little bit of a, I wouldn't say argument. It was just like a disagreement that they had, the boy and the girl. And then the mom of the girl was saying, come back, leave him, come back. They're both from here.
Yeah, very common.
Come back, leave him. So now she's home with her baby. And she's saying, she's just thinking, what do I do now?
Ego.
And her mom and dad are not allowing her to go back. They're saying no.
What happens is people, 99% of the time, in my experience, marriage isn't a marriage. It's a game of control. Mm-hmm. Who has got the upper hand, right? As soon as you give away, perceived, again, it's all perception, right? You know, you're playing 4D chess with your own brain. As soon as you give away that perceived advantage, that person's now got one over you.
Yes.
So the girl's mum and dad are going, hang on a minute, we're going to pull her back. They are going to come to us. Now, when they come to us, we will have the upper hand. Mm-hmm. We will make the demands.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
If they had left her there, they'd be going, we cannot make demands because they've got the upper hand because they're making her do whatever they want her to do now. Yes. We are now in the lower bracket. Yeah. And it's like, can you not just sit down and talk? Like the husband and the wife, I always say, two people in a marriage. No, nobody else. Just two people. Nikah is done between two. To this day, I've never seen a nikah read between three people. Yeah. Nikah is between two people, right? Two people, yeah. Until last week when the scientists went crazy and did all sorts of mental stuff. Yeah. A baby could only be born using two human beings. Yeah? A marriage is between two people. A child belongs to two parents.
Yes.
What's everybody else doing in the room?
Yeah.
Right? The husband and the wife need to sit down and kind of go, hang on a minute, this is our thing. Let's try to forget mum, forget dad. You forget your mum and dad. I'll forget my mum and dad. Just meet somewhere. Yeah. Just meet somewhere in there. I had one sister, she came to me not so long, about 3 weeks ago, and she had exactly the same thing going on. Her parents, to be fair, were quite reasonable. His parents were completely unreasonable. So she was like, hang on a minute, I don't want this to go wrong or whatever. I want to save it if I can save it. So she actually rang her husband herself and said, right, I'm not coming there. You're not coming here. Right? Because there's going to be too many other people who want to jump in. Yeah. I will meet you at this cafe.
Yes.
If you are even a little bit serious about saving this marriage, you'll turn up. I'm not making any promises. Yes. And I'm not issuing any threats. It's literally, let's just come to the table, both of us. Them two met, just them two. Nobody else. They were there for 3 hours. And they made certain promises to each other that both of them now need to implement. They need to put into place.
Yes.
So far, touch wood, so good. They've done it. But that means that putting other people's noses out of joint. Yeah. See, when them two went home, and the guy turned around to his mum and went, I went to meet her. Mum went, you went to what? Yeah. That's not the company policy.
Yeah, that's not part of the plan.
That wasn't part of the plan. We didn't send an email out like that. Yeah. You're not meant to do that. And he's like going, but it's my wife. Yeah. Like, why am I not meant to do that? She went home, told her mum and dad. And now all her siblings don't speak to her. Because they said, but that's not what we
agreed on.
We agreed on. Even though the marriage is between two people. Mm-hmm. That's not what we agreed on.
Yes.
People need to take control of their own marriages. It's between you, your husband and wife. However, when you get married to your son, be prepared for the fact that you have got married within family. So that baggage is going to come with it. Mm-hmm. You can't then turn around and say, well, actually, no, I'm not doing it like this and I'm not doing it like that. Well, no, that's what you signed up for. You can't sign up for something and then later on go, well, actually, no, I don't want that anymore. Don't sign up for it in the first place. And if you do, that's what's
be ready for it. Yeah.
Be ready for it.
Would 100%. You advise against that then? Would you advise?
I'm against first cousin marriages massively for a number of reasons. The small reason, before people say something, is the medical reason. That's the small reason. Yeah. The big reason is everybody's in each other's pockets.
Yes.
You can't fart without somebody knowing.
Yeah.
You can't blink an eye without somebody knowing. There's no space to maneuver. There's no space to do anything. And then what happens? Sooner or later, you're going to get caught in that crazy sort of circle where no matter what move you make, it's going to be the wrong move.
Yeah.
You basically checkmate. You're constantly playing check. And you're playing chess in your head.
Yes.
Going, well, hang on a minute, I need to move 500%. I've got friends who are married to their first cousin, and it's really funny. They go, whenever we sit as a family, there's certain people we can't talk about.
Okay.
Because that girl, my wife, is related to these people, and then again they're playing chess in the head, going, right? When you're married to somebody who's not related to you, who's got nothing to do with your family, you can sit there and talk about whoever you want. Because you don't care. Because you go, you know what? You don't have a horse in the race. Whereas in family, there's always a horse in the race, isn't there? Because she is related to somebody. So all my first cousins are married to a first cousin. So I had one hilarious one where I think a couple of years ago, one of my cousins, something happened. I think someone came to my house. I think my dad passed away, and I had 4 of my first cousins came to my house to do a sauce, and they were all married to each other. And they were also first cousins between them two, between them 4. So them 4 were all first cousins. Yeah. I'm first cousins with all them 4, and they're married to each other as well. Yeah. When I told my daughter said, "Oh, who were they?" And I told her head nearly blew off. Oh, she started getting a nosebleed. She was like, "I don't get it," and I said, "No." But now they're in that crazy world, where you can't even say boo to anybody because there's always going to be an angle. So going back to it, I would not advocate getting married, certainly not to first cousins, but I would avoid family generally. Go out a little bit, live life, spread the pool a little bit. Why you keep going inwards?
Yeah. So, generally when someone comes to, like, if someone is about to get married, or even with divorced, they would usually come to the Islamic side to learn all the Islamic rights. And me personally, myself as well, we actually have a marriage service within the madrasa where we help people find like potentials, and we have like a condition towards the ending. So if you do find a potential and you meet and all of this, before the nikah is conducted, we always say one of the conditions is for you to take the marriage course, which is for you to learn about what Islamically what is taught, within the marriage rights, the huquq of a man, the huquq of a woman, all of these things, right? We talk about all of this in the marriage course. I've never actually, like, when it comes to legal rights of marriage and divorce, I've never actually thought about that side of things. But do you think that it is important for people to actually know their legal rights as well before going into a marriage?
100%.
And where would they get that knowledge from?
Ring me. I do have girls ringing me and kind of saying, and this is usually, if I'm being absolutely honest with you, I get about, say, 75% girls ringing me who are divorced and looking to get married again. Okay. Because they've been through the mill. Yeah. So they're kind of going, this is my first rodeo, so what do I need to be careful of? You get some girls ring me, even guys ring me and kind of say, well, hang on a minute, I'm getting married. What do I do about the house that's on my name? What do I do about this, and this? Now, here's the thing, and this is very, 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 very important. If you have your nikah read in this country, just your nikah, it's not a legal binding marriage. Mm-hmm. It's not legally binding. It's not classed as a marriage. So there's no legal divorce. So if things went pear-shaped, you cannot get a legal divorce. You just go for a normal talaq. In this country, Sharia law is not recognized. Mm-hmm. We don't operate in a Sharia law system. It's obviously English law, common law. If you want to be legally married in this country, you have to go down to the registry office, get it registered. If you don't do that and just have your nikah done, you don't have any rights over each other, legally speaking. Okay. You can't apply for divorce. Okay. You can't then get half of the house. You can't then go for his pension, and you can't then go for spousal maintenance and all that kind of stuff. That's normally in sort of financial remedy proceedings. You can't do any of that. You have to be legally married. However, and this is the big however now, where people sometimes get a little bit confused. If you get married in a country where that marriage is legally recognized, mm-hmm. and then you come here, your marriage will automatically be legally recognized here. Okay. So for argument's sake, I go to Pakistan. Yeah. I get married to a girl. Yeah. I have my nikah done. Yeah. Now, once I've had my nikah done in Pakistan, it's become legally recognized in Pakistan. It's legally binding in Pakistan. I then bring that girl to this country on a spouse visa. Now, I say to the government, she's my spouse. And they say, well, where did you get married? We got married in Pakistan. Is it legally? Yes, it is. Right. Therefore, we will legally recognize it. Okay. So the government is reciprocal. So they'll say, we will legally recognize it. So when she comes over, she is now my legal wife. Okay. So if we get divorced, she can apply for divorce. Yeah. And she can apply for finances. And she can then obviously go for the half of the house and the pensions and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But if it's just nikah in this country, it's not a legally binding marriage. That's where a lot of people, especially girls, need to be very, very careful. They go and just have the nikah done in this country thinking, I'm married. Mm-hmm. No, you're not. Because there's no legal relationship has been formed. Because it's not been done in a registry office. You don't have a marriage certificate. You need a marriage certificate, not nikah nama, a marriage certificate. A nikah nama is worthless in the eyes of the law. Because
in this country. Yes.
Yeah, it's worth a lot for us, obviously.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
had
of
your
course,
car
yeah.
rent. Legally speaking, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So that's where they've got to be very, very careful.
Does that work for both ways? So like, let's just say, for example, if the finances of the woman, so if she's got her own assets
Yeah.
and he's got his own assets, if there was just to do a nikah, does that work for both sides?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
But and if there was to get a legal marriage
then
in
it
this
works both
country,
sides as well.
then it works. So he could potentially take.
He could take her, she could take him. Basically, what they do, see, this is where people get confused. When it comes to dividing the finances, there's no him and her.
Yeah.
The easiest way of describing it is, think of a pot. You put everything in the pot. Then you divide that pot. How do you divide that pot? It comes down to several factors. Yep. So let's say I'm married to somebody. We've got the house that we live in. I've also got a buy-to-let. She's got a buy-to-let. She's got a pension. I've got a pension. She works, I work. Right? We don't divide each and every single element of our marriage. We don't say, right, I want half of your pension, you take half of mine, I'll take it. Right? No. Well, the way the court system works is say, right, put everything in one pot. House might be worth 100 grand. The two buy-to-lets are worth 50 each. I've got a 50 grand pension. She's got a 50 grand pension. That makes 300 grand. Our marriage now is worth 300 grand. Right? Our marriage is worth 300 grand. What are the needs of the wife and what are the needs of the husband? Right? We've got, call it 6 kids, all under the age of 16. My wife's needs are going to be greater because she's got 6 kids and they're all under 16 and she has to look after them now because they're living with her. I've moved out. But I've got housing needs. So the judge will say, okay, you've got 300 grand now. I'm going to give you, the husband, 85 grand. And I'm going to give the wife 215 grand. Now, how does that 215 grand take shape? So judge will say, well, your own house is worth 100, isn't it? So you keep that. You've got a buy-to-let worth 50. Keep that. He's got a buy-to-let worth 50. He'll give you that. That's 200, isn't it? You owed another 15. He'll give you 15 grand from his pension or 15 grand cash. You keep that. You're done now, aren't you? 215, you're done. Right? I get to keep my pension and whatever else I've got. And that makes my 85 grand. So they don't divide each asset. They put it all in a pot.
Into one,
like what we call a global asset pot. That's when they then decide how and when it should be distributed. And there's certain factors they call Section 25, subsection 3, Section 25 factors. And that's the criteria the courts use to decide who gets what. And a lot of them, from off by heart, is basically you got needs of the children, housing needs, age of the parties, contribution, earning capacity, and then I think it's needs of the children, housing needs of the children, contribution.
Yeah.
So basically, not that far from Islamic law.
Yeah.
Again,
very
going
similar,
back,
yeah.
not that far.
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar. They don't base it on anything else.
Yeah.
They don't just say, oh, because you're the wife, you're going to get more. There's this misconception that the wife always gets more.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It comes down to what your needs are.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of cases where, like you said, they've been married 10 years, like this sister you mentioned. She wouldn't have got more because her needs are equal to her husband's.
Yes.
She needs a house to live in. He needs a house to live in.
Yeah.
Have they got enough equity in that existing house to then rehouse both of them? Simple as that, because there's no kids.
Yeah. So, when you talk about these resources that you're talking about, how you're talking about these sections, are there any resources that, that the community could kind of know about their legal rights? Because when it comes to Islamic rights, we'll say come to a marriage course.
Yeah.
So when it comes to legal rights, what are the resources that we should look at or look into?
You can have a look online, but then you go down the Google.
And then you're just stuck.
You're stuck.
You don't know what's right, what's... Yeah.
Yeah, give me a ring if you want to know about your legal... Both, and not only that, also in terms of children.
Yeah.
See, if you've got children and you break up, the father has an automatic right to see his kids. What it is, like criminal law, it says you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
Everybody's heard of that. Family law, believe it or not, is actually on the side of the father. People always think it's on the side of the mother. It's not. Because what it says is that every child should have a relationship with the father or with the other parent.
Yeah.
Unless it's not safe to do so.
Okay.
So the assumption is that you are going to have a relationship. Now we have to decide if you're not going to have a relationship, why you're not going to have a relationship. So the father never has to prove anything. The father doesn't have to prove that he loves his kid. The father doesn't have to prove that I want to see my child. Why do you want to see your child? Oh, because he doesn't have to prove all that.
Yeah.
He just makes an application. Here's my child. I want to see my child.
Yeah.
The wife then, traditionally, the wife has to now prove to the court why he's a danger to the child.
Yeah, why he's not allowed to see the
Why?
kids.
So it works the opposite way.
Yeah.
That's what people forget as well.
And this is actually in Sharia law, like in Islam, when we have, when someone gives an opinion or says, I want this, the one who claims is the one who's claiming that something is not right, they're the one that has to produce the evidence.
Yeah, that's same as legal. It's what we call burden of proof.
Yeah.
See, if I turn around and say, I saw you steal that chocolate.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove that you didn't steal it.
Yeah.
The onus is on me to produce evidence that you stole
Why
it.
did I? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So very similar.
Islam
you
is
want
the
to see the
same.
child.
Yeah.
I'm saying you can't see the child. Because I'm the one making the claim that you can't see the child.
Yeah.
I've got to now prove why it is not in the best welfare and safeguarding of the child for you not to see the child. It's not in the best interest of the child for you to basically see.
You'll find that a lot of the laws that we have, they are they're like for example, zakat, tax, these type of things. Everything is very, very similar or same even as Islam.
It's about implementation.
Yes.
That's all it's about.
And it's right, it goes back to what you said right at the beginning that, with Islamic law, you can twist and turn it and do it in change it to your favor. Whereas legal law, you can't really do that.
Which is funny because I saw a imam in Leeds. It was on Instagram or TikTok. So one of these places. This imam, or it might have been in London, sorry. This imam do a nikah between two men.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I've not seen it.
Right, so an imam is actually not even AI or fake or whatever. Now, in my head, I'm thinking that imam, how much twisting and turning
of Islam
and backflips and everything, how much must he have done for him to justify that two men can actually have a nikah done? Like not civil or not just, vows and stuff. Yeah, I love you forever.
An actual nikah.
An actual nikah. With a hakmer and with a, with the reading and with
the witnesses,
everything.
Subhanallah.
Right? So now when you say the twist and turn, I mean, how much twisting and turning must have gone on in that imam's brain for him to get to that result, to that conclusion, that nikah. See, sometimes we take Islam to its unnatural conclusion.
Yeah.
Because we twist it, we turn it, we twist it, and we turn it, we say, well, actually, no. And again, finding that one little thing, one little thing and going, no. And boom, and that's it. And like a lot of it is for our own narrative.
Yeah.
Women aren't allowed to do this. Why? Oh, because of this little thing.
Yeah.
Men are allowed to. Oh, why? Because of this. There's one little. And our society, we're so ill-read. We don't read.
Mm-hmm.
We go, we listen to these mullahs, mulanas, some of them who are still first generation, some who are second. Majority of the time, we haven't got a clue.
Yeah. And it's really sad because I know we've been talking about just like the normal common folks, but now this is completely another, kind of worms that we open up is when you look at now the Islamic side, those who should be giving advice based on Islam, they are then abusing the system, not just Islamically, but also the legal system. They are abusing that to kind of meet their own narrative of what they want to put out in the world. And it's really sad because now Islam, for women that are going through domestic violence, for example, there are imams. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because it's the truth.
It's the truth.
There are some women that are going through like domestic violence. They are being really, really physically abused by their husbands, but then the imams are telling them that's normal. That's fine for you to be there.
I had a sister come to me. Her husband's a junkie. And he's so much of a junkie that he sells his wife to his friends on a night. That's all I'm going to say. She ended up going to a Sharia counsellor. I won't say which Sharia counsellor it was. And all they kept saying to us all, Beti sabarak. Sabarak. She told me and I was like, and they didn't, nothing else. Like, they didn't say, give us your husband's number. We'll try to speak to him. No. And I thought, two things came out of it. Again, when you open a masala up, a few things. I thought, firstly, that's the worst advice in the world, number one. Yeah. Number two, what the imams or the Sharia people, what have they now put into this girl's head? What have they put into her head now? That it's okay for your husband to sell you 3 times in one night in your own house because he's a junkie. These imams have turned around to her and said, Bachi sabar kar. So she's now going to get raped 3 times a night, and in her head she's going to think it's okay to a degree because the imams have said sabarak here. Wow. I mean, I don't know. What happened to men of honor? What happened to people of leadership? What happened to learned scholars?
Protectors.
What happened to protectors? Like I say openly, men aren't men anymore.
Yeah.
You see these guys and you see, what happened? Honestly, you see these guys say, well, if I get married, my missus got to do 50% and I want her to pay half the mortgage and I'm like, yeah, I get it. But what happened to just being a bloke? What happened to just coming home and kind of going, yeah, I pay the mortgage, I look after my kids. You want someone doing, yeah, cool. Not in a misogynistic way, but in a protector role.
Yeah.
You know the way our fathers used to do? Like, my mum's never worked a day in her life.
Yeah. Not
because she was lazy, because she brought up, 5 kids more, because my cousins also came to live with us when they were young from Pakistan. Yeah, she didn't work a day in her life, but she did a lot. But my dad, he handled everything, which is the same as every single first generation. Now you see guys, she's got to bring half the mortgage. She's got to do half of this. I want half of the deposit paying. What does she bring to the table? Blah, blah. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
What happened to just finding a righteous woman and a righteous man? Mm-hmm. Just saying someone who's going to walk with me. Because life is very long. And it's going to have its ups and it's going to have its downs and it's going to have its left and rights. I just want someone who's going to walk with me. Not waver. Good, bad, ugly, rich, poor, which whatever condition, yeah, Allah Alam, whatever it is, I just want that. But no, now it's like, oh, no, he's got to have this. I see these adverts sometimes, like little ones show me, my nephews and nieces, even some of my friends, and I'm like, wow, not once have you mentioned character. And Islam is everything about character. Yeah. What did they say? Perfect your character. Yeah. Perfect your character. Nowhere in Islam did it say, get a 6-pack, get a 4-pack, get an 8-pack. No, perfect your character, perfect your character. We've lost that. Yeah, we've completely lost that now. And it's sad times, I'll be honest with you. It's sad times, both for men and for women. But I felt sorry for that sister. I really, really felt sorry for that sister. And I was like, what? If that's the state of our ulama, if you want to call it that, which I don't, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. If that's the state of our ulama, then Allah help us.
Honestly, you've actually left me speechless. I can't... because the thing is, we don't know how bad it is you do because this is what you do. This is what you do as your work.
Yeah. I mean, again, we see it because we see it every day.
And we just now you've told me this, I've heard it, and that's it for me. Whereas with you, you're actually dealing with these people face on.
But the thing is, because we do the job, we see it more. It's like, if you speak to a grave digger, he thinks everybody's dead because all he's doing every day is digging graves. So ours is the same. We see these people, but what I really... gets me is, when you see the decline and you see our community, Pakistani community, or you see the immigration community, and you can see them heading in a certain direction. One generation was brilliant. Our parents' generation was awesome because they came and they worked their backsides off and they made a great living and they made a great life for people here and over there. But they didn't have all these side distractions. They didn't have that many demands. Mm-hmm. They didn't have much. They just went, let's just get on with it. Let's get on with it. One generation after that, we're still getting on with it. One generation after that, we're all Instagram. We're all TikTok. We're all about that life. Yeah, it's an element. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. It ain't my life, though. Yeah. That's not my main kind of, this is, I know, I'm not stupid. I know Instagram is Instagram. Yes. TikTok, you put something out there, you're conscious of the fact that it's going to hit a certain thing and it's going to have a certain reaction, certain audience. That's your life on social media. You've got a normal life. Now people have meshed the two up. Mm-hmm. Their social life and their real life, their social media life and their real life is just like that now. Yeah. They can't tell the difference.
Yeah, they can't tell the difference.
They can't. Nothing at all.
It just goes to show what kind of work that you are in and what kind of work that you are doing, because it's just mind-boggling that if someone comes to you with these type of cases, where are you supposed to direct them?
It's difficult. I mean, I've got affiliations, obviously, with, let's say, certain women's charities, certain Sharias, some good Molanas that I know on a personal level that I've worked with for a number of years, who are very good. But it's just sad that that's not the normal. It's not the norm. Yeah. It's the exception.
Yes.
Because again, everybody's using culture, Islam for their own purposes. Yeah. Whatever suits them. Yeah. So, this poor sister who's going through this horrific ordeal, her husband's probably saying, but you're my wife, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, you're mine,
And that's his holdover. And it's probably his first cousin.
Yeah.
And that's his holdover. You can't go anywhere because you're my wife.
Yeah.
She's thinking, okay. And I've probably been taught that I'm not allowed to go anywhere either. And I went to the protectors.
That was supposed to protect. Yeah.
They've pretty much told me the same thing. So I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Even though what she's going through is not normal by any stretches of the imagination. But for her now, it's been normalized because
Islamically or even legally, both sides, nothing.
Nothing at all.
And it's sad because if you go to a big like mullah or a Molvi who's really respected in the community and he says something like this to you,
The game over.
you'd think, okay, well, he's in the community and everyone loves him, everyone follows him, so he must be right.
This is the problem.
But it's not. That's not Islam.
It's not Islam. But these are the people we put up there. Like I say, you must have heard the stories of all the crazy beads and what they get up to, and you must have heard them, right? All these sort of fake beads or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And people still thrown there. People go there.
Yeah.
Like you see all these beads come from Pakistan. I'm not going to mention names.
Yeah.
Chuff chuff. But
it's usually because people go to these people when they are at their weakest. Do you agree with that?
To a degree, because I think not only are they the weakest, they're at their lowest iman.
Yeah.
But what happens is when you're at the lowest iman, that's when the shaitan comes for you. That's when the devil comes for you when you're there, because he thinks, you know what, my man's got nothing left now.
Yeah.
Let me grip him now.
Yeah.
Right? Because one of the biggest sins, if not the biggest sin in Islam, obviously you've got shirk, is despair.
Mm-hmm.
Despair is not allowed in Islam.
Yeah.
Hence, suicide is haram, because suicide is the ultimate manifestation of despair.
Yes.
He was so despair, he committed suicide.
Yeah.
So what does God say? Suicide, completely haram.
Yeah.
Because you, as a Muslim, should never get into that state of despair. What happens is people go in a state of despair, and then what happens? They want to see God.
Yeah.
I've actually sat and spoke to a couple of people who go to these mehfils,
Yeah.
not out of a joke, just to get inside their heads, to think, tell me exactly what it is that you're after. I mean, what makes you travel from Bradford to Luton, 4 hours there, 4 hours back, stand there in 2 hours in the cold of the rain, see this speed bloke for 10 minutes and he does whatever he's doing, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing it after him. All they're looking for is a connection with God.
Yeah.
See, God is imminent and God is also far away.
Yes.
God is far away. He's transcendent. He's away because we can't see him. He's imminent. Islamically, he's imminent because we've got prayer. And if God himself has said in the Quran, in the Sunnah, the closest you will ever come to me is
In Salah.
in Salah.
Yeah.
When you're going down,
Yeah. Prostrating.
prostrating. God's already told you this. But still, we're looking for that radio connection to God. And we think these people,
They're the medium. Yeah.
they're the medium.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, listen, tell God to give me a tenner, and you're going to do the whole shah. God's going to, right? Because why? We don't have belief. Because the whole point of belief is it's a belief system.
Yeah.
They don't have belief. That's why these people, these speed kids, manage to get hold of them, because they lack belief.
Yeah. So what would your advice be to the younger generations, or even like the mid generations or all generations? What would your advice be to them who are trying to navigate things like family life, marriage life, divorce, children, all of these family related issues? What's your advice to all of them?
Keep your circle small. Number one, keep your circle small. Don't tell everybody your business. Trust your husband or your wife. If you're getting on right now, solidify that as much as you can. If you're not married, find someone who's going to walk with you in the good and the bad. Soon as someone says to you, I'm looking for this, and that's so, if a girl came to me and said, I'm looking for an RS3, for example, I'm saying, I know the day I don't have the RS3, she's going to go looking for an RS3.
You're somewhere else, yeah.
But if someone's after your character, they ain't going to find that anywhere else, because that is unique to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that. He might have given other people their own characters, but yours is unique to you. Find someone who's basically full of character. Someone who's going to walk with you, and having that same expectation of life is key. So when I got married, I wanted to marry someone very similar in upbringing to myself, because I thought they're going to understand it better. Mm-hmm. They're going to know the beats of life because they've been there, they've done that. They're my generation, and alhamdulillah, that's what basically happened.
Alhamdulillah.
But had I got married to somebody else who's from a different background, so different everything, not that it wouldn't have worked, the beats would have been different. We'd have more to navigate. If you're navigating divorce, do it in a nice way. I know it's difficult. I know it's tough. I know you want to kill the other person. And I know they've probably done bad things to you. That will pass. That too will pass. You will come back one day and think, you know what, them emotions I was feeling, wow, they were a bit crazy, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, I can give you, sat here right now, I could give you 10 examples of sisters whose divorces I've done, and I met them on day one, and then you meet them a year later. Different human beings. Completely different human beings.
Yes.
Don't let this one thing define you. Let it be an experience. Let it be a learning curve. Don't let it be the thing in your life. Because once you make it the thing in your life, that's all your concentration is going to be on there.
Yeah.
You're going to miss out on everything else.
Yeah.
Look after your kids. The father, the mother, providing it's safe to do so. Don't deliberately put a block in there out of ego. Because I tell you something, your kids ain't going to thank you.
Yeah.
Them kids are going to grow up one day.
Yeah.
They're going to hear stories. They're going to hear, well, actually, you know what? Your dad did chase you. Your dad did want to see you. Your dad did want to do X, Y, Z. But your mum was a bit of this, and your mum, or, you know, your grandma and your granddad and your uncle or whatever. Kids don't stay kids forever. They grow up.
They grow up.
So be careful how you do that now, because they will have a long-lasting effect. And you don't want to be in 15 years' time, you don't want to be the bad person. You don't want your kids turning around saying, well, actually, you know what? This is what I heard, or this is what I read.
Yeah.
And then it's game over.
Yeah.
And, you know, two-parent, fair play.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, obviously with your services that you provide, alhamdulillah, we've had a really good discussion. I think we've covered quite a lot of things, quite sensitive things as well. If there is anyone that is out there that is listening and they want to, you know, contact you, what are the things that they can contact you about, and how do they get in contact with you?
So like I said, we specialize in Islamic divorces. We specialize in normal civil divorce. Children Act matters if you can't see your kids, or you're having trouble with regards to making arrangements, or you think my child's going to get taken away by the father or the mother. We also deal in matrimonial finances, so when you get divorced, who gets what. We deal in non-molestations, basically harassment cases, stuff like that. Get in touch with us on Clear Sky Legal. And that's on Instagram. It's on TikTok as well. And you can give us a ring on 01274 981818, or just get in touch with us through social media.
Social media accounts, yeah. Okay, alhamdulillah. Are there any final comments or anything that you'd like to just put out there?
Don't leave it so long next time.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. Honestly, it's been an honor that we finally did make this happen.
Absolutely.
And inshallah, you know, I do know that there will be a lot of sisters that will be watching this, because my primary audience are sisters, and I know that the sisters do struggle with a lot of things. So inshallah, you know, my advice just limits to Islam. Beyond that, you know, I would suggest and I would advise and encourage the sisters to obviously get in contact with Brother Javaid, inshallah, you know, through his company. And inshallah, I'll put everything on the screen, the number, the Instagram, the TikTok, everywhere that you can contact him, inshallah. And we just want to say a massive Jazakallah khair to you for accepting our invitation. And
anytime.
Inshallah, hopefully, maybe in the future we can redo it. We can
Definitely.
do it again, and, you know, maybe speak on, you know, different cases, because it has been a very, you know, insightful conversation with yourself. I think I've learned a lot myself as well. So thank you very, very much for, alhamdulillah, being here.
No, Jazakallah, thank you for having me.
Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, we want to say Jazakallah khair to everyone that's watching as well. Inshallah, we will see you guys next week with the next episode. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah.